I think for this game, anytime you have an opportunity to go up against a great team and a team like Arkansas State, there's a level of excitement. I think our kids gave great mental effort to start out. We even came back really in that third quarter initially, and boom, 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 and then suddenly things went quickly south for us, and not so much in a good way. We turned the ball over, easy runouts, gave up a ton of second chance opportunities and did not do a good job of rebounding. And that put us in a really deep hole because if you take a look at the third, I mean, they beat us by 10 points. You're not going to be able to beat any great team, 10 points. I think they're in the top tier of the mid-major poll right now, and they deserve some votes because if you take a look at their top opponents, they lost to them, and they're top 25 opponents by a combination of 12 points or so. So credit to them and what they did to come in here and stop a fun streak that we had going. Doesn't mean we can't get another one started again. Our season is not defined by this one game, but we have to do a better job with our team defense and our ability to be able to do better rotating and getting teams on our backside and forcing officials to call over the backs. But if we're not there, there's nothing to call. So again, we're going to keep working with our team, understanding that we're undersized. We've got to find a way. We've been able to do it before. So against great teams like this, though, you really can't make too many errors. They capitalize on those errors. It's pretty obvious.
Jessica Flannery always seems to have a good game against you.
I know. It makes me mad, and we talked about that. They can tell you. These two know for sure. Don't let her have a career night on you. We already know, no matter whether home or away, this kid we happen to be quote-unquote her team. We don't allow things like that to happen. Did not do a good job in the first half of tracking on her at all. She was 5 for 6. Now, with that being said, she came back and didn't hit as many in the second half, okay, because she was 5 for 6. But, again, that would have changed the game quite a bit as well. They were going to have to find other ways to score, and Brown Haywood wasn't able to, get good looks to start out. And for sure, I told them, they're going to go to Andrea Gamble, 2-time Player of the Year, preseason Player of the Year. And they do what they do well. They get the ball to her so she can help distribute, keep them calm, because they also have a mission as well.
When I was looking at the time allotted in the fourth quarter, there was a point where you guys were down by 18, and then it turned around and you got down by 10 with about I want to say 5 minutes to go. And then they had the 1 second on the shot clock, and they called timeout. Did the play to Andrea. What does that do to either kill momentum that y'all had, or what can you speak on that?
I've got an opinion about what happened, but I don't know until I actually take a look at it. Wanted Erica May on the ball. She ended up turning to the inside versus the out to be disruptive. I need to be more clear next time, making sure she understood when you play on the ball, you literally play on the ball. And then I think we needed to have a guard switch there. That didn't happen, and they got that tip. I don't think necessarily that was overall deflating. It just meant we have to keep on plugging. To me, that wasn't. I don't think the team at that point said, "Oh, dang, now we're not going to be able to get it done." I just think they're upset that we didn't get the stop. But I understand what you're saying. To me, for them, it wasn't a momentum changer. But if you take a look back at it right now, that was pivotal. Because 10 with a team, that has the ability to shoot the 3 ball the way we do, should not be astronomical.
That's what I was looking at.
Yeah.
From that point forward, it seemed like that was one.
We were playing catch up, serious catch up.
Arkansas State had 71 shots. They didn't shoot spectacularly from the field. I think we were just over 40%. But the offensive rebounds, second chance points. You guys have found a way to win without that in the past. But against a team this good, is that kind of inexcusable?
And I think that's the thing that we need to continue to understand against the top tier teams that have the ability to play in the NCAA tournament and hopefully go deep. You can't make mistakes. I mean, next up we have Little Rock. We have Lafayette. Geez, ULL. Coming up, that's another great defensive team that we have to do a good job. They've got sticky hands. We can't turn the ball over. They're really aggressive. We're going to learn from this. The one thing I will say is our team has done a good job of bouncing back after games, making the adjustments we need to. And so, I look forward to having that next opportunity. We're just halfway there. We're halfway there.
Raven, you came out aggressive early. Obviously, you're a confident shooter, but you took some shots inside as well, driving to the basket. Did you kind of see this as a game to be more aggressive, maybe not a three, not as relying on a 3-point shot, but kind of getting inside as well?
That's just how the game came to me. Honestly, I felt like they were taking away my 3-point shot at the beginning, so I had more opportunities to attack if I saw the open lane.
The past 2 games, as a team, looking at some positives, are 2 of the better shooting games you guys have had. An Ayriel going, it's like 4 for 5, 3 for 3 from 3. So just kind of talk about Ayriel, and then Raven, if you want to answer, just how it feels that the team is some of those shots are finally coming down, and despite, you know, the way that the score looked tonight, it's still got to be a positive that you guys are coming together and making those shots.
I think it's just the extra work that we're putting in outside of practice, coming in and getting extra shots up. In practice, focusing more when we have that time for our position work to actually get some game shots in. And I think everybody's just gelling. Like Coach said, it's halfway through the season, so something got to start clicking. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I just think it's the extra work. You always got to do something extra so that it can show on the court.
I agree.
You guys had only 2 free throw attempts. You know, I know a couple of drives inside. Erica got blocked a couple times by. I think she had Lauren Bradshaw had like 3 blocks within the first like 5 minutes or so. Did that kind of establish? I'm not saying preventing you guys from penetrating inside, but did you kind of have that in the back of your mind at all, or was it?
I don't think the ladies were aware that this is probably one of the teams that fouls the least in the conference. I was prepared for that. It wasn't one of their goals to get to the free throw line because I knew it would be very difficult for them in this game plan. That wasn't where we were going to be able to generate our points from. So for me, that's not an oddity.
Oh, lastly, Gamble, I think she had a kind of pedestrian game for her in the first half, but in the third quarter kind of started going up. Did Flannery kind of, do you think, free up her kind of cutting inside a little bit more, having to worry about that this was going to be another game for another big shooting night for her?
You know, it's tough to say because I'm not that team, but my assumption would be for most great players, it's nice when you can take a deep breath. You don't have to be the go-to scorer until it's time. And then when she realized it was time, so we told him at halftime, she's like, okay, it's time now, no more playing around. You know, you're battling 5 seniors here, so they clearly understand who those players are that they can hop on their back. And so I'm sure at that point she realized let's try to figure out a way to close the game and not keep it so close.
Obviously, you guys beat this team last year on senior night, so you have the ability to do so. What do you tell your team after the game to, kind of get them back on the right track? Like, hey, you guys are capable of doing this, but we just didn't have it. It just wasn't our night tonight.
I think that the team is going to understand that we have the ability to beat a team like this, but we cannot make errors. So it comes back to our ability to be able to stay mentally focused. I can't say that this team didn't do a great job initially with help defense, but we did not help the helper, which was obvious when we gave up all those offensive rebounds. Okay, and you're not going to out-jump teams like this. You're just not. Not when you're our size. Not when you're our size. And so, sometimes you just have to experience getting punched in the face before you truly understand that some teams are for real.
Lastly for me, Ayriel, speaking of mental focus, you guys got a long road trip coming up, 4 games before you come back home. Heading into the road trip, what's the mindset to get back on track to just recover before you come back?
Really just focus in practice. Like Coach said, we do bounce back pretty well because practices aren't easy. I don't think after a win or a loss, it's always focus on the next team. We keep this game in our head, but we got to focus on Lafayette now, and we got to focus on the rest of our road games. So I think we'll bounce back pretty good, and our focus will be there.